If you're looking for therapy, why not try BetterHelp? BetterHelp is professional counseling done securely online. With BetterHelp, you can start communicating with your own licensed therapist in under 48 hours through phone or video, whatever works for you. Just visit betterhelp.com/aftertheisland. That's better, H-E-L-P, to join the over 1 million people who have used BetterHelp. And you can get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/aftertheisland. That's 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/aftertheisland. I've been using the therapy, and I think it's been really great for me lately. Going through a breakup could not be a better time to start getting back into the therapy, and it's been very therapeutic.
As it should be.
Yeah. And so I highly recommend it to anybody struggling with anything. It's always nice to have an unbiased opinion to help you kind of sort out all your thoughts.
We stand self-help.
Nutrafol. It's time to talk hair. If you're worried about weak or thinning hair, then you should try Nutrafol. The supplement is clinically shown to improve hair growth and thickness with less shedding. I love Nutrafol. You all know this. My mom looks at all the ingredients. She's a nutritionist. She absolutely loves all of them. They're perfect for not only your hair, but your whole body. So Nutrafol offers 2 targeted formulas for women that are clinically shown to improve hair growth and thickness with less shedding through all stages of life. But remember, healthier hair growth takes time. You'll begin to experience thicker, stronger, faster growing hair in 3 to 6 months. You can grow thicker, healthier hair and support our show by going to Nutrafol.com and entering the promo code After the Island to save $15 off your first month subscription. This is their best offer anywhere, and it's only available to U.S. customers for a limited time. Plus free shipping. That was so creepy. Plus free shipping on every order. Get $15 off at Nutrafol.com. Spelled Nutrafol.com. Promo code After the Island.
Hey everybody, welcome back to After the Island. I'm Elizabeth.
I'm Alex.
And we have Leslie with us here today in the studio.
Hey, it's Leslie.
Hi.
Hey, Leslie's here.
What's up? How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm fantastic.
Can't believe we're just meeting you. Can't believe we're just getting you on. But
Well,
we
I've
need
met
all the
Leslie
tea.
before.
Oh, yeah.
We met and I'm so sorry. It just didn't even click for me until like a few days ago. And I was just like, I actually know this girl. Wow. Like I met you last January at the Click House.
Yeah, that I forgot what that place was
That
even
was
called.
originally
But yeah,
Click House and then it became Clubhouse and then it became a shit show. So yeah.
so funny.
Wah, wah, wah.
Whoop! Your hair's blue
Elizabeth.
now.
Yeah.
I know. I was blue all last year and then like, you know, I kind of went down every color. I went brown, blonde, light pink. I was like lava girl for a bit. For the show, I did purple. I was like, you know, like I had this hot pink hair right before I left. And I was like, you know, there's already a lot going on here. There's already a lot to unpack. The last thing I want to do is like scare these men away because they're so finicky, you know? Like, I was like, okay, I'm going to pick something a little softer to pull these men in. So I was like, purple. Purple doesn't seem like a bad option.
I liked purple.
Yeah, I liked purple. You were like the fairy girl that was like hopping around.
Somebody had to
With all your
represent for
magical
the
ways.
e-girls, you know?
Khaleesi.
E-girls.
You were
Yeah, I said you were like
Hot Topic
Khaleesi.
represent.
Yeah.
Did you watch Game of Thrones?
I did.
Yeah, you're like Khaleesi. You had all the boys mesmerized.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
and you're
that's like literally a party trick of mine. I'm great at making people fall in love with me. That's
Can
gonna
you
make me
teach
sound
us?
Manipulative. It's really just eye contact and
Okay.
just being very flirty.
Okay.
I know, I'm a big
okay.
flirt though. I love everybody, and so that's what made the villa so hard for me. Like I felt like people were like, she's just trying to find her way into the villa, but honestly, I was pretty excited to go home after Casa Amor because quarantine was so long.
Yeah.
I was surprised that I got picked. And I know that they made it look like I was crying because of Cinco, but I was crying because I thought that Jenny was going to go home. And my biggest crush in the villa was on Jenny.
I'm crying.
So
okay.
I know the way that you guys, but I was crying because Jenny with the triple D's might not be around anymore. And I was like, I know I'm going in. I don't know by who, but I know somebody here's in love with me. So I know I'm entering the villa tonight.
Oh my gosh. Wait, that's so funny. Can we just like touch on that since we're talking about it?
let's go ahead.
Yeah.
How was the Casa Amor recoupling?
Honestly, it was a little emotional. I mean, I think personally for me, seeing the dynamic in Casa Amor with how all the guys were, they were really shy at first. Like it took us a bit. Like I remember having to like kind of pep talk them and be like, "Hey, come out of your shell. Like we only have 4 days in here. Like we don't have to get married, but like let's have fun." You know? So, it was fun, but seeing all of the OG girls come back and see how they interact with the boys was really like, it took this big puzzle that was like blown up and just kind of put all the pieces together. And I was like, oh, like, so that signified where like my relationship was with most of the guys, because you're really only in there for 4 days. The first 2 days were super awkward. And so it was just like, you know, whenever I got in there, I was originally going after Giovanni, and he wasn't there. And over half of us Casa Amor girls were going after him. And so that put all the boys on like this level playing field. And I was just like typically whenever I like a guy, I'm like, I see you, I want you, I got you. But I walked in and I was like, I didn't even pay attention to any of these boys, because the only person I would pay attention to whenever we were watching in quarantine was Giovanni. And I'm like, nobody else. I was like, somebody else is talking, I don't care.
Oh my God, how
So
funny.
I just didn't know.
So who, like, once you got in there, you realized Giovanni wasn't there. Who were you like, all right, I need to go after this guy?
I was like not gunning it for anybody, but I was definitely interested in Korey. Everybody else was just very standoffish, and I think because he was the only one that wasn't in like a true couple, he was the only one that was being like outgoing and fun, and like everybody else was just so quiet and like standoffish, to the point that I was like, I don't really know. So first night going to bed, I was like, you know, I'm kind of interested in Korey, but I'm still not really sure.
My initial prediction was Jeremy. There's a clip where I see him looking at you, and I thought there was eye contact there, and he was one of the single guys. I thought that that's what was going to happen. He looked at you like you were like a fairy tale that fell down from heaven in this clip, and I was convinced off of that eye contact moment that that was going to be it.
My prediction is that Jeremy's actually in love with me.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I mean, like, not even in a bad way. I got the same vibes, because there was one day, I think it was the first day after Casa Amor, this man had not interacted with me at all. But honestly, I think that Jeremy is like the funniest guy ever. He's chiseled by the fucking gods.
Oh my God, his body
and I just think that he's hilarious and just a great guy. And I'm like kind of sad that we don't get to see that, because once I get in there, like everything he said, like the guy literally had me bent over in pain every time he would talk, because he's so funny.
Gosh.
So the first day in the villa, he comes out of nowhere and like scoops me up and does one of those like body hugs in the kitchen. And Korey was like, whoa, man, this is the first time I've ever seen you talk to her. And I don't know if it was out of jealousy, or I think we were just like, everybody in the kitchen was just like, what's going on here? But me, I was like, hee hee.
I'm crying.
I didn't know that was gonna happen, but I mean, honestly, like, y'all are feeling the vibes. I was feeling those vibes too, but also the colored hair and the eyes, like, I know what I'm doing, and sometimes people just can't stop staring at me.
No, you were seriously, like, you were a showstopper, because you were so different from everyone.
And we kept saying, we were like, we don't know how, but she will come back from Casa Amor. We said, we were like, there's no doubt in our mind that, like, she's going in, we just don't know with who.
I didn't know with who either. I was like, I knew that I was going in, but honestly, that's just my witchy side being like, you're going into the villa, you don't know with who. These dudes are totally bewitched right now. I wasn't even trying to, but like, honestly, was having the time of my life in Casa Amor. I mean, whenever I say that every single guy was so amazing in their own way, and they're all sexy in their own way, I was like, this is a polyamorous dream come true. Why do I have to pick one? Can I date all? I kept saying, I was like, I feel like I just gained 5 boyfriends. Like, this is great. I was like, the fact that it had to get narrowed down and we all had to like kind of go into our places with our person, I was just like,
You're like, why? I need more. I need more. I need all of it.
What did you think of Will and Flo while you were there?
So, I will say that I met Flo a few years ago, and I don't really know if our personalities really line up. You know, like, I don't think she's a bad girl, but she's not somebody I can truly vibe with. And from the beginning, I was like, Will is the only guy in here that is physically my type. Like, to a T.
Okay.
But from our first conversation, we were flirty, but I like available men. I don't like, Casa Amor was really hard for me because I'm such a girl's girl and I'm like for everybody. And so that made it really hard for me because, this guy that I was interested in physically, like, we had really good conversations. I was like, I'm not going to go there because of Kira. However, most of us girls wanted to kind of switch around the bed situation every night because we wanted that pillow talk. And she was the only girl that wasn't open to it. She was like, I know where I'm sleeping. And I was like, okay, like, we each have our strategies for this. I can respect that. However, I'm also interested. And Will expressed interest in me multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
Like, before Kira got back, he, like, actually pulled me under the water and kissed me in the pool.
What?
I was like, yeah, they didn't show that on camera. I was like,
Oh my God, T.
that just took me out of left field.
I literally came up out of the water with pool water in my mouth. I had goggles on and my eyes were open the whole time. Not the most romantic kiss. But I was like, Will, why are you kissing me? Out of a challenge.
What day was
I was
it?
gonna say, was it out of a challenge?
It was right after the raunchy races because I kept calling him out because he kept being sexual, but then he wasn't really showing off during the races. And I was like, Will, where's it at? You're all talk. And so he pulled me under the water and kissed me. And I was like,
Did Flo know?
I mean, everybody knew because everybody was
my
around.
God.
They were like, where did that come from? And I was like,
I don't know.
I don't know, but I'm here for
My
it.
spells work.
I was like,
Oh my God. Okay,
I mean,
what
like-
else did we miss?
I know.
I mean,
need
I don't know.
all
I
the
guess
tea.
it'll all unfold as we talk. But I mean, that happened, and I mean, obviously, Kira came back, and I saw like the way that they interacted with each other, and I know that there's a lot of skeptics about the relationship because there may be talk about them knowing each other before the villa,
Right.
And you know, I know that that was talked about from like my grandma told me that.
Our comments in our live chat were like, not Leslie's grandma telling all the tea.
Dude, I had no idea that she even watches reality TV. I was like, what are you reading? Fan fiction right now? I was like, how do you know that? I didn't even ask. Because she was like, who are you interested in? The first person I was interested on the show was Shannon. And my grandma was like, she's not my favorite. I was like, she has a strong personality, but I love a boss ass bitch. So I was like,
okay.
this is cool. And then she was like, I was like, you know, like, I think Will is cute. And then that's whenever she brought that up to me. And me and, like, my chaperone are sitting there, like, so you weren't supposed to say that. I was like, don't say anything else. But, I mean, I even said it to Korey. I was like, I don't know how much that is true. I just know this. And that was way before I saw them together. And then seeing them together, like, they literally cannot be across the room without, like, pining for each other. I mean, they're, like... I don't know if it's a sexual thing. I don't know what it is. I don't know the true dynamic of their relationship because I was only around them as a couple for like 2.5 days. But seeing Will with Kira and seeing Will with Flo were two totally different things. The only thing that Flo and Will had in common was that they model.
Yes,
That was
we
like her
established.
favorite thing was like, we have so much in common. We both model. And we were like, and what else? I don't know. But I was like, they're both hot. Obviously, they're gorgeous together. I mean, if they had something deeper, I have no idea because I was focusing on my own shit. But Will and Kira's relationship to me is just so much more authentic than Flo and Will's relationship would have ever been. I don't think that they were the right people for each other, but maybe they were the most attracted to each other out of the small group of people in the villa.
Right. Okay, going off of that, knowing people, talking about people knowing each other on the show, was there anyone, like any of the LA people that are on the show that you knew before going in, or any of the others?
I didn't know anybody other than Will. I mean, not Will. What's her name? Other than Flo, but other
okay.
people knew me.
Okay.
So Jeremy recognized me from online.
I believe that. I believe that. I knew he was looking at you.
I think it was from Netflix. Not Netflix. What's called Nelk Boys. And then Trina knew me from TikTok. Jenny knew me from TikTok, and I mean, not from TikTok, just from online. She followed me before we were on the show. I expressed so many times, I was like, I'm so afraid that there's not going to be anybody in there that piques my interest.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid that people are going to know me.
Yeah.
So that was like a big issue with that, is that people already knew who I was coming in. And so that makes me wonder, like, how much do they actually know, but they aren't telling me, you know?
Yeah.
That is an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, because because you walk in thinking like, oh, I've seen all these people on TV. Like most people don't have the following that you do. So when you walk in, you're like, oh, I've been watching these people for so long, but it's kind of reversed for you.
Yeah, they're like,
Well,
you.
like
They
I
might have
said-
been watching you for even longer.
Yeah, scandals, TikTok relationships.
I'm like,
and-
scandals.
I'm like,
kind of
what?
scandals?
I'm like, I don't know any of these.
Scandal. It's not at all.
I'm like,
We
I
should
know.
not bring it up.
I'm like, I've known who you were from social media, but I don't know any of your like personal stuff.
Yeah, I mean, most of it was like 2019 and then like previous people I dated, but I was very honest about it. And I think that's where like the social media topic got brought up, is that like, oh, I'm wiggling this, is that I used to date Down Bilzerian. And for the guys in there, I'm sure it might have been intimidating and like could come across as bragging. But I mean, like, wouldn't you want to know that? Like, wouldn't you want to be
Before
honest?
getting
'Cause, like,
involved
well,
with
if you get
somebody.
I want to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't want to hide that and then like them come out and be embarrassed because so many people judge Ignite models.
Yeah.
And like I dated him before Ignite models were even a thing, you know? And so like, and I was the only girl at the time. And it's just like, people look at the relationship and automatically assume gold digger, you know, sister wife. And like there was no real connection, but there was. And that was 2018, like the year that Ignite models started. And we quit dating right before they launched the actual Ignite models. So to me, it was more like talking about a past relationship, but then you bring Jenny into it, and this is where the big problem came in, is that she's very interested in like current events in social media, and she loves the Kardashians, and I'm somebody that chimes into every conversation because I talk a lot. And so for people in the villa, I feel like that was just a very, I don't know, that was just very interesting to see from the outside, because it's very hard for me to, I guess, have a normal conversation because all of my friends are all my friends are influencers, or they're involved in, you know, stuff like this in some way, form, or fashion, and it's just because of work. So
Yeah.
I don't know. That was a tough one for me because that was exactly what I was scared of going into the villa, and then it's exactly what happened.
So how did you feel when the guys questioned your intentions in there?
I mean, obviously, like, I'm somebody who thinks from everybody's point of view, and so I could see that. Like, and I understood that. We had actually, me and the girls had already had a conversation about this earlier in the day. So whenever it got brought up by the guys, it just kind of hurt my feelings because I've been honest with everybody. And I did share very deep stories that probably were too dark for CBS. So I feel like that's why they were like, honestly, let's just keep Leslie's positive vibes, because I definitely had a couple breakdowns where like I cried to Korey at one point. I told him about some like really dark shit in my life. And, you know, those conversations don't happen in a room full of people. And so that's, I think, where, you know, me and Jenny are entertainers. We like to make people laugh. We like to make people feel good. What do you want me to do? Like, sit in the room full of people and, you know, talk about my assault? Like, and that's the thing, is I shared those conversations, you know, on one-on-one time with the guys. And so that's kind of where it hurt my feelings, where I was like, I've been open and honest. I've always kept the positive vibes. You know, I helped Will and Kira's relationship out a lot. Like, I really sat with Will a lot before Kira came back. And then also talked with Josh a lot about his relationship. And so hearing both of those guys say things about me behind my back, and then, you know, me not even be that mad at them. And I actually apologized to them. I don't think that was shown. That I went up to them. I was like, you know, I'm sorry for ever doubting y'all, because there was a doubt in my mind about Jenny. I was like, maybe she just blew this out of proportion. You know, she keeps getting backed into a corner, so maybe this just got misconstrued and I could have handled this differently. And so at one point, Will was really upset, and I started crying because I thought that I hurt his feelings. And I was like, you know, I'm so sorry for coming at you aggressively. Like, you guys have been nothing but nice to me. So I'm really sorry for like making you feel like you had done something wrong and then not really listening to you after. And they were like, you know what, Leslie, no, we love you. Like, this isn't even about you. And I heard that from every single Islander. And that's where the girls were hugging me in the room, was because I thought that I hurt Will's feelings. And even Kira was like, you know, it's going to be okay. And like, it took a bit, but me and Will warmed back up to each other. So I was on good terms whenever I left everybody. I don't think I did anything wrong at all, not even a little bit, because I know my intentions, and if your intentions are pure, then you really don't owe anybody an apology. Yeah, I didn't watch the show fully, so all I've seen is like little clips from online and people tagging me in it. You know, like, I'm totally somebody that understands that we're in like a really rough environment. So I just hope that, you know, maybe they'll reach out and apologize, or at least just like brush it under the rug and try to be friends. But if I never hear from those people again, then I'll know that it's because they know that they did something wrong.
Right.
You know, and they're not big enough people to own up to it.
So did you get the like feeling, because I have a hard time believing that no one was talking about social media other than you guys.
Oh, yeah. At some point, it like probably came up like here or there.
Well, everybody was chiming in, and then at one point, the day that there was an actual that the argument happened, you know, we were at lunch and we were talking about like things that we wanted to do after the villa, and I was saying like how much fun it's going to be to travel with everybody, especially because we'll be able to get sponsored trips, especially for the people that come out of here, and like everybody's going to have a different number of followers and they're going to have different opportunities, but as a whole, we're going to have major opportunities. And that's what I do, is marketing. That's literally my job, is to market myself.
So I explained it to them, like everybody. I was like, this is how it works. You add up all your followers together, you submit it to like this Airbnb or some kind of house that is known and on Instagram. You can stay there. What you'll do is we'll each, have a deliverable as far as like swipe ups and page posts. And then we'll do the same with probably like Tao and go out to eat and things like that. And was just explaining it. And they're like, oh, like I could see like kind of the confusion. I was like, well, you're all celebrities now. So this is how it works. And these are going to be the tools that you have available to you whenever you leave. And I explained it just like that. And so honestly, I was shocked whenever I got off here and saw what the boys said in the dressing room, because I never even got the feeling that somebody was talking bad about me. I mean, to be quite honest, most of the guys were flirting with me every chance they got.
Yeah.
And it's not disrespectful to the other women. I mean, we're all horny and hot and whatever in there. But I mean, like, there were certain things that if they were actually dating would have been inappropriate. And like, I had no idea Josh said anything like that, because I thought him and I were like super cool. And I know that people thought that I was going after him and Shannon's relationship, but I even told her, I was like, I have no desire to go after your relationship. My attraction to Josh is because of the man that he is right now, and he wouldn't have been this person if you didn't make him this person.
Very
So
true.
I was like, I told her, I was like,
true.
dude, respect. Like, he's hot, obviously. And to me, I thought that he had like an attractive mind. Like, I was like, oh, like he's really shutting this down. And like is like, I want to be with Shannon, but I want to have fun, but like that's my person. And I was like why, what good does it do for me to go after you? I'm not going to be your person if that's your person.
Right.
I mean, and from their perspective, I could honestly understand them being concerned. Like, okay, like we coupled up with Jeremy and Korey, right? But Jeremy never really pursued Jenny after that. And so it was kind of awkward, because she's like, well, now who do I go for? Because the only time that he really shows interest in me is whenever we're in bed and we're cuddling. And then me and Korey automatically on the first day, I did it off camera. I told him, like, because I didn't want to embarrass him. I didn't want to seem like I used him or anything. I was confused too why he picked Isabel over me. This girl poured her heart out to him.
Yeah.
And honestly, I just think that Korey's in this part in his life where he's chasing danger, and like, and he's just like, he wants that adrenaline and stuff. And he came at me as if I was toxic, and I was like, Korey, babe, that's not a compliment. Like, he's like, you look dangerous, you look toxic, blah blah, like you look crazy. And I was like, I'm absolutely not. Like, I just look like that, but I honestly like really have my head on my shoulders, and I want somebody that's a little bit more grounded, that can have that fun with me and is open. But so I understood it, and that's why in my conversation I know that they had to like kind of cut it down so that it can fit the screen time. But I was telling everybody, I was like, I don't care who said what. That's not my goal. My goal isn't to fight somebody or to hate somebody in here. Like, the goal of me having this chat with y'all is to let y'all know that like whoever I end up with will have to deal with social media, because that is my life. And if you don't like that, you don't have to say anything bad about me. You can just focus on what you want and focus on the girls that you want to listen to. And I do think that because people's feelings were hurt, that blame was misplaced. And it was just so easy to throw me and Jenny under the bus and say that it's all talk about social media. But in reality, things were said that hurt Josh's feelings. And all this is in my opinion. And I think that he just didn't know what to do. And he so badly wanted to have Shannon's back that it was just easier to be like, okay, Ginny and Leslie are the bad guys now. And like, it just all played out so poorly, but I don't think anybody's intentions were bad. And that's the thing, is I think Jenny's being made out to look like she did it all on purpose. But in reality, it's just like wrong place, wrong time, wrong conversation.
Yeah.
And emotions are so high in there. We all know that. And like, I'm somebody that's like, okay, like, let's hold a little space for this person today and just like, like really see where they're coming from. And that's why whenever I stood up and had that conversation, the reason why I walked away is because Jenny said what she did. And I love Jenny, but it totally wasn't right. Was she wrong? No. But did it accomplish anything new? Absolutely not. If anything, it just, threw gasoline on the fire. And I was like, my point of me saying this was that I don't care who said what, but you will respect me. And if you can't respect me, then I don't need to be here. I genuinely don't need to be here. My person hasn't shown up in here, and that's why I walked away. And so like, my walking away was just to calm down. And, Cinco followed me, which I love Cinco. if I would have ended up with anybody on the show, it would have been Cinco.
One of our awesome sponsors.
Which one, Liz?
It's HelloFresh.
Oh,
Don't call me Liz.
Lizzie, babe.
During the summer, nobody wants to spend all their time cooking. And with HelloFresh, you can have dinner on the table in just 30 minutes. And HelloFresh's produce gets from the farm to your door in less than a week, which means fresh, high-quality ingredients for all of your delicious meals. These are the beef and cheese tostadas tacos. I love tacos. And plus, if you want to fire up your grill this summer, HelloFresh has grilling bundles, burger packs, surf and turf packs, and much more that makes grilling so easy. So just go to hellofresh.com/aftertheisland14 and use code aftertheisland14 for up to 14 free meals plus free shipping. That's hellofresh.com/aftertheisland14 and use code aftertheisland14 for up to 14 free meals plus free shipping.
All right, Leslie. So I know the number one question everyone is asking is your quiet exit. Why did that happen?
Honestly, it just felt like my time to leave the villa.
I don't know why. I don't know what happened. I just woke up and I was back in LA.
Oh,
How long was that flight? Was it 5 hours?
I don't know. I was asleep.
Oh,
No, I think it was about 5 hours. But yeah, I will say that
I was really ready to leave the villa. I felt like kind of a caged animal once all the girls came back because it just felt like there were so many rules because everybody was all in these crazy entanglements, and that's totally not my vibe. I don't like to fight. I'm a lover, not a fighter. And so it just felt like there was way too much drama. And I wouldn't even say like it was crazy, like bad drama. It's really just because everybody cares about each other so much. And it's not out of hate. And I know that it looks like that's all we do is fight, but we honestly had some amazing times. But it just didn't feel like it was the right place for me because seeing everybody so coupled up and certain people being so in love and just making out in front of my face all the time, I was like, man, I can't do this with anybody right now.
I feel like I want to be a part of this
it's
too.
Yeah, I felt really left out.
speaking of not being able to make out with anyone, I saw you making out with someone on your story. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah.
So Bennett, I know everybody's wanting to know about Bennett.
Yes.
So last year, this is how me and Bennett met. He was on last season.
Yeah.
He was on last season, and I DM'd him while he was still on the show. I was like, I hope you get kicked out so you can date me.
Oh my
No
God, you didn't know
way.
each other.
No, we didn't know each other at all, but I saw that we had like 25 mutual friends. Well, we tried to hang out whenever he got back, but I ended up dating my manager, who's a woman, and batshit crazy. Totally not worth it. Kind of worth it. But so we never met. We would always like message each other like, hey, there's this party, want to hang out? But the conversation was literally never deeper than that. But I was always like Bennett is to a T my physical type. And so that's where the whole thing with Will was happening. But like,
I feel like the two of them are so different. No?
They have distinct
like,
features,
They
though.
have
That's
dark
it. That's
hair.
the physical features.
Yeah,
That's it.
okay.
That's it. No.
I don't think Will is anything like Bennett's personality.
No, Will is like a little comedian. He doesn't even know it. But no, I love Will. He's hilarious. But Bennett, yeah, we never ended up meeting up until a month before the show. So I was leaving a shoot and I live downtown, but my friends were meeting up for drinks in like 2 hours. And I didn't want to go home. And so I hit him up. I was like, hey, like, do you want to go out for a drink? And he was like, yeah. And so we met up for drinks. And it was like, honestly, so chill, like easy conversation and whatever. But like, he ended up staying the night. Nothing happened, but you know. We ended up hanging out for like the next few weeks, like a lot. But we knew like literally from the first, like the next day after we met, I was like I'm doing the show. And like, you know, we can have fun, but like this isn't gonna be anything right now because I can't commit to shit. Like I'm gonna go and do the show. Like I'll be honest with you, and like if I come back and I didn't find anybody, you know, hey, and like he was honestly like super cool about it. And I was like, that's totally my vibe. I don't like anybody controlling. I like people that can like let me do me. And that's where like I wasn't really vibing with anybody in the villa other than like maybe Cinco because he was so like cool with whatever I'd say. He'd be like, yeah, you know, like I feel you, like we all come from different walks of life, you know?
Yeah.
So Bennett was very open about me doing the show. We weren't dating. But yeah, we were hanging out.
So where are you at now?
And so now we got back from the show. He's like the first person I called. And was like, hey.
Did he pick you up from the airport?
Yeah, he did.
We love that.
We love the
Love
airport
that.
drop-offs
In
and
my car.
pickups.
I was literally like
go get my shit. Come on, come pick me up.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Incredible.
no, so we've kind of been together every single day since then. We're 1000% gonna date. We're just trying to get through the whole show situation.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he watched, and I told him, I was like, you shouldn't do that because I'm gonna have fun. I'm not holding back. I literally said that in my interview. And this is my hot girl summer, and nobody's getting in the way
Yeah.
of it. So, I mean, we came back. Obviously, he didn't love the things that he saw, but I mean, he's been a man about it and allowed me to like explore my sexuality and explore the possibility of me being with somebody completely different on a show that's literally based off of love and like takes you out of your normal environment. So, I mean,
You guys
I
also
mean-
have that to connect on. Because
Yeah.
it's very hard to
Yeah.
find people out in the real world that
That
really
understand
understand it. And it sounds so like creepy and annoying, but it's so true. Like,
yeah.
it's so hard to make people understand what you go through.
Even
there.
just being a part of that
I
world
was
too,
about to
it's very
say,
hard.
being an influencer in general, like people see that you've been in the spotlight and everybody acts completely different towards you. Like it adds this whole layer of like not being able to trust people and being like really suspicious about people's actions. And so like this is like, you know, people are like, oh, you have to date somebody rich and famous, blah blah blah, like just looking at me and seeing me date Dan. And I'm like, absolutely not. Like my requirement is somebody who's very secure in themselves and doesn't need to act out to get my attention, or you know, they can be their own person individually and then let me be me, because I am somebody who's so strong in my personality that it's really hard to find somebody that is as open-minded, because I'm a little out there.
I feel like you
That's why we
also
love
you know
you.
yourself so well that you
Yeah.
need someone that knows themselves that
Yeah.
well
Yes.
too.
That is like
Otherwise
the
it's just not
hardest
balanced.
dating part for me. And then not knowing if somebody's like, if a guy's intentions are like actually pure, if they're like,
Right.
she's hot
Yeah.
and she's famous.
Yeah.
So,
And she's whimsical.
and she's
And she's Khaleesi.
and she's beauty and she's grace. and
She's Miss United States.
Yes.
So
I can't get over your eye color.
Oh yeah, I did that on purpose. It's to trip people out.
It's
Well, your
tripping me
hair
out.
is
Why
like
is
your
it that
eyes.
light? What
Oh,
nationality
what
are
do
you? How are
mean?
they
Oh,
that
no,
light?
German and something.
They're
I don't know what
so
I'm saying.
blue.
It's the hair color. It brings it. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I
I'm,
love
like,
all the
literally-
blue.
They're
You're good.
they look great.
You're fine.
The hair looks great. I'm like,
thank you.
wow, I'm Khaleesi
I
over
was about to
here.
say, you're about to dye your hair, huh? I feel like a
No,
green
no,
would
no.
pull the shit out of your eyes.
I
You have
really
no
love your hair.
My
Like,
hair's-
I'm
I'm
obsessed.
afraid of colored
I'm
hair.
literally gonna Photoshop your hair. You're gonna love it.
Top.
I'm like,
Anyways, y'all are invited to the wedding if me and Bennett get married.
Oh, I
yeah.
love
Right
now,
it. Hell yeah, Bennett is
prepping him
great.
now through this show.
Let's
so
go.
that
Bennett is
nobody
great.
else
sink their
takes this
teeth.
man. Literally, that's why I'm like making it known. I'm like, we're not even dating yet, but
You're like,
all
we
need
are.
to know
I,
what's up.
I saw
We
the
will be.
picture of the hand on his, or the,
Oh, I
his
thought
hand
you
on your
said
butt,
that.
and I saw
I
the
said-
tattoos, and we did the math.
I was like,
We
you
did
didn't
the
tag me,
math.
you asshole. He's like, I didn't think, like, I don't know. I
I
was
didn't
like,
need to.
okay.
We did the math.
Everybody knows it's like I'm hard to miss. We were talking about doing TikToks with like just putting the back of me in it. I was like, Bennett, my hair.
Yeah,
No, literally, your hair is the number one
Biggest
seller.
Giveaway. Like at that point,
So
just throw
funny.
me in it.
Gotta
you
love
know?
him. Gotta
love
love
it.
him.
Men no think.
That's
We can
just the
concur.
beginning.
What did you think of the dynamic of you coming in and you are pansexual is what you are, or how would you, yeah, and you're very open about it. And I know on our season we had Kira who was bi, and last season I don't know if we had anyone like that, but what was kind of like the parameters of that, or like was anyone else open about?
I mean, Jenny was very open about her sexuality, and she's just like me. She's also pansexual. I don't
Oh,
think
she
that
is.
she's
I didn't know that.
as much of like an LGBTQ like, you know,
Community.
creator.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
just that's a part of who I am and what I show out of my content. But Jenny's one of those people that, you know, she just doesn't even feel like that she needs to address her sexuality, but she is very open. She's very body positive, very sex positive, just like me. And I mean, if you want to call us vulgar, I mean, just say that you're closed-minded, honestly. Because our 10 out of 10, our conversations were probably the funniest and the most intriguing. And I feel better for the people on the other end of our mic because it's just always a fun conversation, you know? Like, and that's what I'll say. Like, I had the biggest crush on Jenny out of anybody else in the villa because she's so open and so just like fun and good vibes. And although she wasn't having the best time in the villa, like our times that we had together were like, you know, and then like her just being like that sweeter, more feminine personality. Like I have a more, I guess, dominant personality. And it just like the vibes were there. That was my woman.
Do you think the dynamic of the show made it hard based on like the way that of the layout to be
It didn't really pave a way for me to be with a woman in there. You know, there was one time that I was talking about Kristen Stewart for 20 minutes and got in trouble because, you know, I was in the pool and I was on a floaty and I was just like, man, Kristen Stewart. So.
Right.
I have a different question for you, segueing. You and Jenny came back as the only girls from Casa that made it back into the villa. Did Kira ever ask either of you, like, what kind of happened with Will while he was there?
They did, and I was honest. I was like, you know what? He did his time, but from the moment that we all met him, he only talked about Kira and was just like, we're open to getting to know people. And I know that it wasn't coming from I know Kira will forgive me. It's, I know that she'll be understanding because that's their type of relationship. And that's what I found so beautiful about their relationship. So whether it started before the villa or if it's in the villa only, like, I 100% believe that they have like a pure relationship. Like, out of everybody in the villa, I would say that their connection is the strongest.
Got it.
So, yeah, I mean, she did ask, but, I mean, we answered honestly, and she was very perceptive to everything, so.
So, did you tell her that you kissed Will in the pool underwater?
I did.
But you did?
Okay.
I was like, I don't think it was romantic. I felt like it was like a little
Just
boy on
spur of
the
the moment?
playground trying to be like, you know, I told him that I thought he was all talk, so he was trying to prove my point. So, I mean,
I love
you
that
win,
you
Will.
on it.
You win.
Okay,
Oh my
that
God,
makes
that's amazing.
Okay, I'm glad. Yeah, and we talked about it this morning on our live that I wasn't sure if she asked you guys what had happened because I wasn't sure if she was just afraid to know the answers, but it makes me feel a little better that she
knows everything.
knows and did ask you guys.
She does know everything.
Okay,
and
good.
that's the thing is
and that's a good thing for people to know.
He told her straight off the bat, like immediately. And like that was their first conversation that they had. You know, like literally as she got chosen, he told her right there about Flo.
Like, we need to talk. Yeah.
Like literally in the recoupling is like, this is Flo, this is the girl that I met in Casa Amor, and like, you know, we need to talk about this. And so, I mean, I have mad respect for Will, and I know that Shannon was really upset about it, and I think Shannon just has a very passionate, you know,
Philly girl mentality
for her friends.
Yes.
And for honestly, she's just protective of anybody in her life, and I think that she's very misunderstood. For like everybody thinks that she's just aggressive, but in reality, I think she's just very protective.
Yeah.
And so I understood why she was mad at Will, but at the same time, I understand that not everything needs to be a knockdown, drag out fight. And if Will and Kira, you know, fix this on their own, you know, I do hope that she's not getting played, but honestly, I have a lot of faith in Will and think that they honestly covered all the ground that they needed to, and that they should be fine now.
Good.
Well, it's good to hear that from you too, because the way that we're seeing it as viewers is that he's keeping something from her, or he's not being completely honest about how intimate or not
where they're
intimate,
at.
but kind of like what they did, and he's kind of throwing the blame on Flo is what we're seeing.
Oh.
So it's kind of like coming across that way, and it's coming across a little sneaky.
I mean, Will definitely had fun in Casa Amor. I'll say that. He definitely didn't have a bad time. So, I mean, I know that he was freaking out about a day and a half before the girls came back.
Yeah.
He was freaking out. I think
a come to Jesus.
He let loose and then immediately like kind of shut down after his conversation with Flo. And like the whole day that we had the recoupling, like we were in the kitchen drinking tea and he's literally just there like, I'd never seen him like that. He's always like good vibes. And I think that him and Kira are both very openly sexual, fun people, flirty people. I'd say like Will more than Kira, but I mean, I know that he has genuine feelings for Kira, and I what I don't like is the amount of pressure that America puts on everybody to be insanely in love in just a few weeks.
Oh yeah.
During the most trying mental time of your life. I mean, like, it's really something in there. And so, like, to see the type of relationship that they have, I mean, honestly, I went into it, too, being like, oh, they're boring. But in reality, they're just a mature couple that doesn't have drama and isn't just lusting after each other. Everybody's like, oh, they kiss too much. And I'm like, whenever you're, like, in love with somebody, don't you just want to, like, play tonsil hockey with them all day? Like, whenever you're in love, you don't want to be all over that person. Like, I don't think you're in love then, you know? Like, everybody shows their love in different ways. We all have our love
Love
language is, and if theirs is physical touch, then like so be it. Like I don't understand what the big deal is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, I
I
understand
feel like that's
that.
good. And I feel like all of this has been so important to like understanding you and, you know, giving you a voice to let other people kind of see and hear from you what happened and how things went down and let you, you know, speak your piece with everything and be able to share.
Yeah, that's like my favorite part about this podcast is that, you know, you guys really only see about 10% of our day, and divide that up by like 15 people in the villa. You're not even getting like a sprinkle of somebody's personality. I mean, you're seeing possibly the worst parts of their day. And during your worst part of your day, you're not going to be like the best version of yourself because you're under stress. So,
It's a lot.
I mean, the people that get the most airtime are the people that are in the most complicated situations.
Yep.
So,
And Jeremy's hilarious. Stop calling him boring. I love Jeremy.
I
Jeremy's
think
now
everyone
my
is Team
favorite.
Jeremy now.
He's
For
my
some reason, I
favorite.
think
Like,
everybody
I
loves
want-
Jeremy
there
now.
is
I
actually a
think
group
Alex needs
chat
to
in
beat
my
Jeremy
DMs
when he
that
leaves.
says I hate Jeremy. I know y'all hear me. And that's
No.
literally the name of the group chat. And I'm about to go in there and be like,
I love Jeremy.
I love Jeremy.
We love
Justice
Jeremy.
for
being
Jeremy.
mean. Justice
know.
for Jeremy. He's so hot and he's so funny.
We did say he's the cockroach with like 6 lives, though. He's gonna like actually go through World War III and survive.
Oh
because
my
he's
god,
been
you can't
saved
get
so
rid
much.
of him. You just can't.
It's
Oh my
too
god.
good.
Aw, Cookie.
Yeah, well, Cookie.
His mom was calling him Cookie.
That's so cute.
It was very cute.
Aw.
Very
But
cute.
thank you so much for coming
Yeah,
in
we
here
are
today.
so
We loved
excited.
having you.
You should come back for the finale.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Come do an episode with us again.
I'm very down.
Yeah.
Be very fun. But everyone, you can find Leslie below. We'll link her socials for you if you want to check out her page. And thank you again for coming on here. We had a lot of fun.
Bye.